Good morning and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from Abuja. I am Ifoma Ojinta. Here are the headlines. President Buhari assures Nigerians of full implementation of 2021 budget.
We can tell Nigerians what we received, how we use it according to the budget and the balance.
Presidency appeals to Nigerians to comply with executive order on COVID-19 safety protocols to avoid lockdown. Military coup in Myanmar State, civilian leader detained. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari assures Nigerians of full implementation of the 2021 budget with all transparency and openness towards meeting its targets of placing Nigeria on the path to a sustainable future. Speaking to journalists in Daura shortly after revalidating his membership status of the APC, the president appreciated the National Assembly for the effective and detailed attention to the critical financial documents before its passage.
The budget has expressed the intention of the administration. The National Assembly has passed it. Now we want all ministries and departments and agencies to see what is their share in the budget and how do we secure the National Assembly's support so that by the next budget we can tell Nigerians what we received, how we use it according to the budget and the balance. We are very proud of making our balance sheet available to the whole nation. We have nothing to hide.
About 260 road projects he inherited. No contractors were inside, but he mobilized contractors and most of those roads have been finished and he added more roads and you can see what is happening. But elites are not talking about that. He gets far less of the money they get and yet he completed the projects that they could not complete. That is one. Two, when we came in, 27 states were not paying salaries. Some have been arrears for months together. But he bailed all the states out and they pay arrears of all the salaries and continue to pay salaries up to today. In addition to that, he gave each state 10 billion naira for infrastructure. We call it infrastructure loan that all the state gets. And in addition to that, when oil prices still continue to be down, he gave us what we call budget support. And that is 1 billion naira a month for about 10 months.
Senate President Ahmed Lawal says the National Assembly will exhibit high sense of responsibility and patriotism while conducting a confirmation hearing for the newly appointed service chiefs. Speaking to State House correspondent at the Musambo in Daura, Katsina State, Senator Lawal said this is to ensure that the appointees have all it takes towards dismantling prevailing obstacles to national security and stability for a greater Nigeria.
Requesting the Senate to confirm his appointment of the service chiefs, and when the Senate resumes from the 9th of February, we should be able to undertake that exercise very quickly, because this is something that don't have to be delayed at all, even though it's not in our character to delay anything.
What are you going to look at in the confirmation hearing?
Well, I believe that the professionalism is the most important thing. These are people that are supposed to have gone through the mills. They have been there in various positions of responsibilities, and I believe that the committees will screen and see how fit they are for these positions. And I'm sure that our committees will do a very thorough and proper job.
Those that have worked in the words almost of President, they have done their best, and we feel there is need for them to shift and allow younger ones with maybe more ideas to move forward. So we look forward to this that are new doing better so that Nigeria's security will improve.
What we expect them is to work closely with the executive governors, because the executive governors know the problems of their state and they know the problems of their people, and they know the black spots that are existing in their states. So if they work closely with the executive governors, I think they will be able to be on the right footing, and they will get their direction very early, and I wish them good luck for that.
Kebbi State's Governor Abubakar Atiku Bagudu has assented to some bills, including those on kidnapping and rape. A statement by the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Hajia Ramatu Adamu Gulma, explains that with the assenting into law of the Penal Code 2021, it is now a death sentence under Section 247 of the law in Kebbi State for kidnapping and life imprisonment for rape, as stated in Section 259, subsection 1 of the law in the states. Other bills that have become laws are the establishment of College of Nursing Training Kebbi, College of Education Argungu, and that of Revenue Generation. Federal government says Nigeria's low rating in the 2020 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index is not a true reflection of the great strides by the country in its fight against corruption. In a statement signed by Special Assistant to the Minister of Information and Culture, Segun Adeyemi, Lai Mohammed said that the country's anti-corruption agenda, which has placed great emphasis on corruption prevention measures and the building of integrity system, is on course. The minister said the implementation of the various reforms, especially in the ease of doing business, is expected to yield positive outcomes within the next 12 to 24 months. Lai Mohammed said high-profile corruption cases are currently under investigation and prosecution, adding that a number of significant policies have been instituted to enhance transparency and accountability. Also, Lai Mohammed said different assessments on the same indicators for corruption in bureaucracy by different rating institutions have generated various scores and rankings across the ranking agencies. Therefore, there is the need to understand why these variations occur and consequently the robustness of the methodology and validity of data, pointing out that there are missing assessments for Nigeria in the data entries where the country has performed well in previous CPI calculations like the African Development Bank, country policy and institutional assessments. Now, state of emergency declared in Myanmar as military takes over power with civilian leader detailed. Niger Republic's second round of presidential election to be held on February 21. Details with Oyeyemi Ajayi.
Myanmar's military has taken over and declared a state of emergency after detaining civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other senior government officials in a series of early morning raids that followed days of escalating tension over the outcome of the November election, which the ruling party won by landslide. A video address broadcast on military-owned television said power had been handed to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, stating that the state of emergency will remain in force for a year. The spokesperson for the governing National League for Democracy said earlier that Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and other leaders had been taken in the early hours of the morning. Myanmar's parliament, where the military is given a quarter of seats and wields more power through its proxy Union Solidarity and Development Party, was due to open in the country's capital. Now in Africa, Niger's constitutional court has confirmed that a second round of presidential election is to be held on February 21. In a ruling pronounced, the court noted that no candidate had obtained an absolute majority of the votes in the first round, whose annulment partial or total cancellation claimed by opposition candidates was rejected by the court. It was said that the court receives the request of the President of the Independent National Electoral Commission in the form, validates and proclaims that the final result of the first round of the presidential elections on December 27, 2020, the court therefore declares Mohamed Bazoum and Mohamed Ousmane candidates in the second round of the presidential elections. Bazoum leads with 39.3% of the total 5.1 million votes, followed by ex-president Mohamed Ousmane at 16.98%.
And for an update on COVID-19, 685 new COVID-19 infections have been recorded in Nigeria in the last 24 hours, bringing Nigeria's caseload to 131,242. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, says the new infections occurred in 16 states, with Lagos reporting 355, Kaduna 58, Nasarawa 46, Kano 40, Akwa Ibom 33, Katsina 26, Ogun 25, Osun 21, and Rivers 16 cases. Edo recorded 15 cases, Oyo 13, Ondo 12, Borno 11, Ekiti 9, Kebbi 3, and Plateau 2 cases this time around. Nigeria has so far tested over 1.3 million samples with 24,667 active cases nationwide. Total discharge cases are 104,989, while the death toll is now 1,586. The presidency is appealing to Nigerians to comply with the just signed executive order that makes mask wearing and observation of social distancing in the public mandatory, noting that President Muhammadu Buhari introduced the order with the best of intentions and not with any motive to punish citizens. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the presidency appeals to relevant social actors to play active roles in the sensitization and enforcement of the order to avoid crude methods that may create resistance and resentment, thereby defeating the primary goal of the executive order. The Buhari administration, the statement says, is most reluctant to lock down the country and continues to emphasize the non-pharmaceutical measures. Though vaccine availability is within reach, the propensity of the public for non-compliance weakens the fight against the virus, the statement stresses, noting that public health is one of the sacred duties of any responsible government and that the administration will not abdicate that responsibility. The statement admonishes Nigerians to have it in mind that the COVID-19 pandemic is not only a threat to the health of the population, but equally to the national economy and to every aspect of our everyday life. The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, says the action plan being implemented by the force to curb all forms of abuse on women and children in the country is yielding positive results. The IGP made the affirmation on the heels of the arrest of 5 members of a kidnap gang which specializes in the abduction of women and the girl child, sexually abusing them and obtaining ransom from their families before their release. Some states in the south part of the country, especially Port Harcourt and its environs. The suspects are Osinachi Ngwakwe, 22 years, from Ubaka community in Umahia South local government area, Abia State; Sami Jr., alias T-Boy, 27 years, from Gwara community in Hana local government, River State; and Epo Bari Nwolu, 26, from Ogali community in Eleme local government area, River State; Yabari Barale, 29 years, from Gwara local government area of River State; and Barin Yilda, 30 years old, alias Albino, also from Gwara community, Kana local government area, River State. Similarly, operatives of the Nigeria Police Interpol National Central Bureau, Abuja, have arrested 2 Kano-based suspects Ibrahim Wazam Muhammad, Aminu, and Mohammed Tahir Umar. Investigations revealed that the suspects are members of a trans-border international child porn syndicate which sexually abuse underage girls and disseminates the video recordings on an international social media WhatsApp group chat known as Pervertidos, owned and managed by a Brazilian called Adriana for a fee denominated in US dollars. Meanwhile, the IGP notes that a total of 2,792 suspects were arrested by the police for sexual and gender-based violence and other sexual-related offences in the year 2020. The arrests are linked to the 2,573 cases currently being prosecuted under the forced gender unit in various courts across the country. Others are still under active investigations. The IGP enjoins parents and guardians to keep a close watch on their children and wards and report any incidents of abuse against women and children. And this is the news at 10 on NTA News 24 Abuja. Up ahead, banditry Islamic Sheikh engages more headsmen on peace. Thanks for staying tuned. Nigeria's stock exchange emerges Africa's best performing stock exchange in January. Let's join Chimobi Walter Nnaji for more on business news.
The Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE, has emerged the best performing stock exchange in Africa after closing the month of January 2021 on the green territory. The all-share index ended the week and month of January in green territory. The index kept a clean sheet all week, up by 58 basis points on Friday and 3.44% week on week. MTN Nigeria, with 3.43%, had been instrumental to Friday's performance on sustained domestic demand, as the ticker recorded a new all-time high of 181 naira. Equities ended the month with a 5.32% aggregate. The NSE ranked 7th according to Bloomberg World Equities Index ranking, as oil and gas stocks finally halted the week-long losing streak to finish higher. All other sectors also finished in green except for industrials, with a marginal decline of 8 basis points. Turnover last week stayed impressive with a daily average of $14.53 million. On Friday, investors traded a total of $17.18 million. Zenith Bank retained the top spot on the activity chart with $3.20 million traded. Other notable volumes were MTN $2.47 million, GTB $1.84 million, and WAPCO $1.5 million. With business news, I'm Chimobi Walter Nnaji.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command, has seized the largest singular hard drug substance weighing over 26 kilograms with a value of 7 billion naira. The command, during operations, arrested 7 suspects in connection with these unlawful acts. Abolade Salami reports.
With its avowed determination not to give room for the use or trafficking of hard drugs in and out of the country, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency set in motion mechanism to detect and identify persons who violate or abuse laws prohibiting the use of illicit substances. In the light of this, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Command in January made a total seizure of 36.200 kilograms of cocaine and heroin, alongside the arrest of 5 suspects. The eagle-eyed surveillance approach adopted by officers and men of the command led to the arrest of these suspects who had in their possession various sizes of cocaine and heroin.
Again, there was a detained bag that came on Ethiopian Airlines. The passenger came and the luggage was abandoned. So they started making effort from outside to see how they are going to retrieve the bag. So a sting operation was planned and we were able to arrest 3 people. We are still on the lookout for other people that conspired with them.
However, of the 7 suspects arrested, comprising 5 males and 2 females, the command revealed that a suspect has excreted 68 wraps, while the 26.850 kilograms concealed and sewn in a duvet was uncovered.
I really don't know too much about it. I was just focusing on the 4,000 euro that was promised.
I've never found myself, never seen myself like this.
The drug control strategy adopted by the command, the commander said, is in line with the directive of the chairman on a mission against drug traffickers. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Now, there is no better way to fight the challenges of insecurity, promote unity and love than through religious teachings. This was a submission of Islamic clerics during the 3rd annual World Maulud to commemorate the birth of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which took place in Dutse, the Jigawa state capital. Ibrahim Bello Gunda reports.
The World Annual Maulud celebration is being organized by Jam'iyyatu Asarjin at Tijaniya under the leadership of Grand Khalifa of Tijaniya worldwide. The popular Tijaniya movement, founded in 1966 by renowned late Senegalese-born Sheikh Ibrahim Inyas, with a view to commemorate and promote the virtues of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The event is therefore rotated among member countries with large followership of Tijaniya sect as a platform to promote unity and tolerance among Islamic faithful. Scholars spoke on the virtues, life, exemplary leadership qualities, as well as relationship of the Prophet with faithfuls and adherents of other faiths.
This Maulud and this activity will offer a lot of rest for the peace and tranquility of this country.
We should emulate that culture and the habit of fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in leadership, in our families, and in all ramifications of life.
If we abide by this, if we employ the mechanism of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we shall live a happy life, a united Nigeria.
And so a true Muslim is also expected to extend love and kindness and goodness to all manner of people, irrespective of where they come from.
The Jigawa event had the theme, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the perfect figure. In Dutse, Ibrahim Bello Gunda, NTA News.
In continuation of his engagement with herdsmen and rural dwellers, Kaduna-based Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmed Mahmoud Gumi has reached out to another group of herders in Chikun local government area of the state on the need to lay down their arms and embrace legal and sustainable initiatives. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun reports.
It was a journey of 25 kilometers to Ruga Malam Sali, a Fulani settlement in Chikun local government area by Sheikh Ahmed Mahmoud Gumi and his entourage, including representative of renowned Sheikh Dahir Usman Bauchi.
Our main concern now is those perpetrating crimes among herders. Let us form ourselves into committees to de-radicalize them. We must give priority to education of our wards.
The visit, like the previous 4, saw verbal commitment and strong determination to de-radicalize the youths, encourage them to seek knowledge and vocational skills. Speakers at various settlements agreed to give peace a chance, surrender their arms, and give Sheikh Gumi the benefit of doubt as he expands the discourse to relevant quarters. Sheikh Gumi presented copies of books with a pledge to provide the communities with school, health facility, and vocational training center for women and youths. Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukun, NTA News.
Odunsi Faith Oluwatamilore of Ambassadors College, Otagun State, has won the 2019-2020 Nigerian National Mathematical Science Olympiad. Dennis Adeguloye reports that the senior secondary 3 student is 15 years old.
The mathematics queen scored the highest in the designated subject, beating over 200 other students in the final category.
I want to study computer engineering. I would like to study abroad.
Professor Peter Onumanyi, Deputy Director at the National Mathematical Center, stood in for the Center's Director General.
The idea is to catch them young, to catch our children young, so that mathematics will not die with us.
These young Nigerians, who are the focus of this event, are no doubt the reservoirs and repository of talents for the digital innovation and entrepreneurship, which constitute the veritable tool for the emerging national digital economy.
The Olympiad holds annually in 3 stages and features 8 subjects, including senior mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, senior informatics, junior informatics, and junior science. The Olympiad is organized to honor and recognize students who excel in the competition. In Abuja, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
Over 3,500 women from the 20 local government areas of Ogun State have received 20,000 naira each under the federal government's special cash grant for rural women projects. Lekon Agbonde has details.
At the flag-off ceremony of the ongoing federal government cash grant for rural women in Ogun State, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, who was represented, said the disbursement is intended to sustain the social inclusion agenda of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. She explained that the one-off grant will no doubt create the needed financial support for the poor and vulnerable in the society to scale the poverty bracket in the next 10 years.
Since its introduction in 2016, Your Excellency, the Social Investment Program has impacted positively on the lives of the poor and vulnerable in Nigeria, as over 12 million households have benefited from NSIP interventions in the last 5 years.
The beneficiaries, while appreciating the federal government for the support, said the grant will definitely improve their living standards.
I really want to appreciate and thank the federal government for the assistance, because this will go a long way in ensuring that our means of livelihood is sustained, particularly in this COVID-19 period.
The state government expressed gratitude to the federal government for initiating programs targeting the empowerment of the rural women in the country. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
10 on NTA News 24. Still ahead. 2 men.
Social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. All visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.